Guys, what's up? It's Scott, your boxing mind. Just finished my workout. Quick video today, it's a request. Someone was asking about the lifestyle of social life, partying, drinking with boxing, okay? Partying, drinking, drugs, social life with boxing, okay? Right, well, as you get older, and generally you tend not to do it as much, I guess, but every man pretty much wants to enjoy life, and when they're younger they want to have the social life. Excuse the wind. We all want to have the social life, we all want to hang out with our friends, with the woman, everything else, okay? So we all want to get the girls, we all want to go to the clubs, we all want to party, we all want to experiment with recreational drugs, okay? We all drink. Okay, that's for every man, okay? So it is a good question, it is a good video to make a point. Well, if you want to box and you want to achieve in boxing, you can't do that. You can't drink and you can't take drugs. Unless you're a genetic freak, some guys do get away with it. Not so much the drugs, but the drinking, they can have a few drinks, that's okay. But if you're serious about boxing, don't do it. It's hard when you're young, all your friends, the life is there, that's where it's at. Some of my sparring partners are young, they're doing that, they're out drinking and they come spar me in the next day. If you're serious and you want to achieve in boxing, you need to discipline yourself. If you can't discipline yourself to not drink and take the drugs at the weekend, you're not going to be a champion, and you don't want it bad enough. And you're not going to. You will win fights. You might lose some. You'll win some. You'll get some good boxing. You might even go far, but you'll never be a champion, and you'll never be the best. So it depends. Do you want to be the best, or do you just want to do boxing as a sport, as a hobby, win some, lose now and again? You can't actually go far, but how serious are you? Okay, that's a question you need to ask yourself. You'll never be a champion. Never be the best if you live the life and box. But I'm going to tell you a story. When I was younger, when I was 18, 19, 20 and I started boxing, my first fight I managed to not drink or take drugs or anything, and I won the first fight, okay? So yeah, I won the first fight because I wasn't drinking for a few weeks before, and I didn't take recreational drugs. I'm not talking about hard drugs that are really harmful and destroy your life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about recreational party drugs, you know. When you're young enough to handle it and you're smart and you do it in moderation, they're not going to damage your health as much as the media and the government and everything else tries to portray, okay? But the recreational drugs, okay, so the first fight, I didn't take them for a few weeks before and I won the fight against a more experienced opponent who came out there to try and knock me out, hit me with his best punch, I smiled, I took it, and then I kept fighting hard and I won the fight. So what I did is a mistake. I was young, so I took all the recreational drugs, a mixture of many kinds, and I mixed it all up and I took it all, and it was quite a lot, you know, celebrating my fight, celebrating with the boys, you know, out partying, and it was a good time, but I regret it now, because what happened is I took so much drugs. The next week I got an opportunity to have another fight, the week after, my second fight, and it was great. The coach got me this opportunity, and I was still spaced out on that drugs. I was still spaced. I was still, I wasn't alert, and I wasn't hungry, and I was weak, you know. But I didn't notice it. I was just in a different world, you know. It was strong stuff, you know. So the fight come, I travelled there, I went there, and then the opponent, once I got in the ring, he wasn't no harm. I should have knocked that opponent, I should have stopped that opponent. If I was clean and I had my hunger, I remember driving to the fight and just looking in my eyes in the mirror and being like, no hunger. If I had the hunger, I would have stopped the guy, because I remember fighting him and I was getting him on the ropes and stuff, and instead of hurting him, I was just wanting to touch him. I was just tapping him, I was just going through the motions. I was just trying to touch him. I wasn't punching through him and hurting him. And if I was clean and my system was clean and I was working well and I had my testosterone and my hormones working, I would have smashed that guy and I would have stopped him. So I did regret it, I did feel bad after it. I learned my lesson. For the other 38 boxing fights I had, I didn't take the drugs. No recreational drugs, no party drugs, no drinking. And I won much more than I lost. I did really well, I enjoyed my boxing. Before my injuries started coming on, I got my injuries. That's why I couldn't keep the fights going, you know. But I enjoyed it, and I was drug free, and I removed myself. I moved out of the town where everyone is, a small town where everyone parties and takes drugs. I removed myself from the town. I was focused on like my career and training and boxing, and and I enjoyed it. And that 5 years of my life, I grew the most, I had the most fights, I got the furthest in my career, I learned the most. Best time of my life now that I look back of it, because it was a good investment. You can waste your life partying and taking drugs. It might be good in the moment, you might be with the boys and friends and sleeping around and having a good time, but you're wasting you're wasting quality time, especially when you're young. So that's all I want to say. If you want to achieve and you want to succeed and be a champion and go far in boxing, keep your system as clean as you can. Don't take recreational drugs, don't drink, get new friends, hang around the guys at the gym that are serious. That's my advice. If you want to take the drugs and drink, you will lose some fights and it will be out of your control. You'll be like, you're doing everything else right, but the drugs in your system will slow your reaction time, will take away your killer instinct, your hunger, and you'll lose some fights that you could have won, okay? So that's all I've got to say for that guy. That's a request. And another thing, a recommendation, okay? Old school coaches and boxers, they say women weaken legs. What they mean by that is by having too much sex or ejaculating, you lose your testosterone, you don't have as much, you lose your fight, your hunger, and you do not have the killer instinct as much. You don't have as much strength and killer instinct as the fight comes. And it is true, I've tried it myself, I know my body and I know how strong I feel when I'm not ejaculating for time and when I am, okay? And if you look at some of the world champion boxers who had wives, they practiced non-ejaculatory sex, okay? So you're having sex but you're not coming, okay? It takes patience, you've got to stay calm, relax, take your time, and don't come, okay? And just train yourself to do it, and keep all your fight and your testosterone and your strength and your hunger for a week or two before the fight, or if you're fighting every week, just practice it as a lifestyle, and you will smash everyone in your face, in front of you, okay? You'll be the best that you can be, okay? So it is an old school tip, women weaken legs, and it is true, I've tried it. Go on YouTube, all the professional world-class boxers, Tyson Fury, Devin Haney, Mike Tyson did it for 5 years. I swear down, if you want that advantage, refrain from ejaculation when you're fighting. You can still have sex, but just if you've got a girlfriend, but just don't come, okay? You know, so make her come, but don't you come. You relax, you take your time. So that's it. That's a good tip and a good thing. It's a request. Make sure you don't have drugs in your system. Don't be slow. Reduce your reaction time, your reflexes, they slow down. Your strength, your power, your killer instinct, that is not what it could be. I promise you that from experience. Stay clean, train hard, focus on the goal and smash the guy, okay? So that's it. I'm out. Your boxing mind, some tips for life. If you're younger and you're serious, take it to heart, because I'm talking from experience, and you only get one life. Your time, you can't rewind your time, okay? So I'm out.